Right then, so we're here with Joe and we're here at the tropical island. Check him out, look, he's got a Mr. TravelON t-shirt on. And this is our second video all about travelling with autism because Joe, well, he's a bit of an expert because he's here with Zoe and Rue. And we're going to talk about Rue, we're going to talk about autism, we're going to talk about travelling. And you've got a YouTube channel.
I have indeed, yes.
Which is sort of building up all about this, no?
Absolutely.
So what's that about?
It's so we're a family, we travel, we've got a young child with autism, so and we wanted the channel to be more informative to people that want to travel with kids, because I do hear it all the time of there's so not enough information out there, and it's such an easy thing to do. It's just about how your child is and knowing how your child wants, but then knowing the information to go out and find the help you need when you're traveling. It's out there, but it's not readily available, so I want to bring it all together in one pot and say, here you go, this is us, this is how we travel, this is what we do, and if you've got any questions, then obviously get in touch.
Well, that's ideal, because we get a lot of questions specifically here in Lanzarote about, I'm travelling with somebody with autism, do you do this, do you do that, is this excursion suitable and stuff, and you've been on a couple of them, haven't you?
Yeah. So we've been there a couple of years, three times. This is our third visit to. We came twice in 2021. Met your good self.
That's that long ago?
It's Christmas 2021.
2 years ago. That was when I just started as well.
Yeah. So it was, and you gave me some good advice, and that's what started up the channel. And over the past couple of years, it's not massive, but we're just building.
So what's the channel called?
Tiggerific Tales.
Right. So we're going to put that down below. So make sure to go over and subscribe to that and get Joe up there, because it's an important thing. And the more subscribers, the more YouTube shows the videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about Rue, because I've done one other video about autism. I spoke to a lovely couple in Porto del Carmen, and they had they had a daughter that had autism. But there's all different types, isn't there? Yeah,
the spectrum is absolutely massive. You've got people with very light, there's people in the public realm that have got it, the likes of Elon Musk and so on. They're on the spectrum. Oh. So a lot of clever people, you go out there and you'll see they are, but then you have the extreme opposites, where there's children that are having constant meltdowns and so on over the littlest thing. They can have a fly land on them, and their sensory overload, their brain, the way it works, just absolutely runs wild. So autism is basically a neurological disease where, not disease, I should not say that. It's a neurological condition where basically your brain works like a computer. And we're all running on Windows. Well, Ruben runs on Lumix. He runs on a different operating system. He learns differently, and he just experiences the world different to us. And that is literally what autism is.
Wow, okay. And that's the thing, that's the thing that confuses, me and probably many people that have not involved in it or don't understand it, is this, like you said, it's a huge spectrum.
Massive.
And this, for me, is what I think why a lot of people don't dismiss it, but they can dismiss certain parts of it.
Absolutely.
Because, from speaking to the other video that we did, it's called invisible disabilities, isn't it? And where you don't actually, you can look at somebody and not realise that they have autism or there's an invisible disability. And I think with like you said, with the spectrum being so broad, people tend to just dismiss things. So it's good that you're doing the channel and that we can do a couple of videos like this about autism, because I have no idea, and I'm as ignorant as everybody else, but from speaking to people like yourselves, it's good for me to learn, and obviously for people watching to learn.
So really, if I said as an adult, as a parent of someone with autism, all we'd ever ask is just be treated the same. It's literally just it's becoming more normal. And you got to think about, we were of a similar age, and back when we were kids, they were called all sorts of names. And now,
I suppose you're right.
Education is the way to go. We need to educate people, and people are a lot more understanding. We found, that people are starting to understand. We do get some weird looks sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's just people. They can look and be as weird as they want.
Because Rue's quite vocal, isn't he? Because I've met other autistic kids and adults that are just very quiet and sort of
very introvert.
Sort of not switched off, but very, I've seen them in like restaurants. They've got the headphones on. They're on the tablet, and they're just that's
their focus. They're in their little world, which is where they're happy. Now, Rue has those times where he will want to go away. He's very much a physical, he likes to have stuff in his hands.
Yeah.
So as long as we've got something like that and we're walking along
Yeah.
and he's got something to play with and something to then, you know, if he does get a bit overwhelmed, overstimulated,
Yeah.
thank you, Mrs. Tigger is over there telling me the right words to say.
Is she over there listening, is she? She's down here on the sunbed, chilling out. There's not much bloody sun today, though, is there?
No, it's warm enough.
It's still nice, yeah.
Yeah. Better than back in Blighty, as I've been looking on the camera at home and sort of thinking, oh, thank God I'm not there.
No, wait, check my weather every day.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. So is it more, from a parent's point of view, is it a challenge to keep Rue entertained like that? And do you sort of, right, so I'm going to put myself in your shoes and thinking about my kids when they were younger, that, I mean, if we were out with Alfie or Jack and Alfie starts crying or something, this was like when they're a baby, and I'm like, oh, give him that.
It's the same.
Is it?
No, it's
but it's more
exactly the same.
constant, no?
Yeah, it can be more intense, I would say.
I can imagine.
So they're, you know, autistic kids are the same as any other kid.
Yeah.
They want to play, they want to have fun, they want to, you know, they want to see everything. It's just the way they communicate back to us is different. And it's the way they see the world is different. So one thing is like very much hand dries. Rue has a lot of problems when, if we're in a public toilet and someone puts the hand dryer on, he basically really doesn't like it. His hands go up over his ears, he wants to go
Because of the noise?
Because of the noise. But yet he can be out in a busy square of people with lots of noise and he'd just be happy. So it can be a multitude of things. It can be like anything different. Everyone is different. It's like us. Everyone's different. You know.
Yeah.
One person might like something, one person might not, and it's the same with autistic. They just have that certain trigger.
So again, I like to sort of think about what I would do in that situation, and I suppose a lot of people would, because it's when you're a parent, and even when you've got a little baby and stuff like that, and you're on a plane or you're on a train or you're at a restaurant and they start crying or making noise, you feel quite anxious and you're like, oh God. So how do you sort of solve that? Is it a case that you've sort of said, well, you know, Rue has got this is it condition? Rue has got this condition. He's going to make noise, so the rest of them can get either accept it or shut up, or do you sort of tend to? Well, I suppose you're used to it now, but do you go into a panic mode? Because I would, when the kids were little and they cried in a restaurant, I wouldn't panic, but it's like shut them up. Do you see what I mean? So how do you? Is it a case that you just say, well, that's it? You either accept it, Mr. Mona, or Mr. Person over there giving me a dirty look, and that's it. So how do you sort of deal with that?
It's very similar to any other, you know, that back as you were saying. You know, you try and comfort them to make them more comfortable in their situation, to calm them down. Yeah. And you know, if people get upset by it, well, I'm sorry, you know, you're going to be on a plane. We were on a plane with a baby, and a baby was crying. So it's just part of life. Yeah. So probably when we first didn't really understand everything, we panic a bit, but we've come to learn how.
So now you're just like.
Well, it's just
like it or lump it, which is fair enough, isn't it?
Part of life. So
which is fair enough. Yeah. But from an outsider's point of view, if a baby was crying, a person would look and go, well, it's a baby. But obviously, Rue's bigger. So do you get people that sort of moan, give you dirty looks?
Yes, we do.
And what do you do? Just
Because
I'd go and punch him.
Over-talking. He's more laid back than where I am.
So you go and punch him. Because that's what I'd be doing.
I'd be thinking, and I do think the more Europeans, if he's in the pushchair because he is a large child, people don't understand. Yeah. Yeah. I take offence to that. Yeah. But you have to have thick skin because I'll protect him till the end. Yeah. Because he's my child.
I see what you mean.
But we learn as well. Whereas he's so laid back. Yeah. It doesn't faze him where it upsets me.
Well, I'm hoping that comes out because Zoe's all the way over there. But hopefully, if it didn't, then we've cut that bit out. But Zoe was saying that she's the one that would go and hit him because I would, you see. If you're chilled like that, and if I was in that situation, somebody give me a dirty look, the language that would come out of this mouth would not be good.
It would take a lot for me to do that. because I know people are stupid. At the end of the day, people are people aren't stupid, people are uneducated. That's the thing. People need to learn that, it's the same as someone being diabetic. It's the same as someone, being deaf. That's it. It's just part of who they are. And some people look at that and they don't understand it. And that's the whole point. It's like it's getting more out in the thing. As people understand, I was chatting to a gentleman yesterday who'd come here with him, and there was pushing Rue in his pushchair. He has a pushchair because, also with his autism, he does have certain things with his motor neuron that does affect him a little bit. But
okay, so what's that walking difficulty?
Yeah, walking difficulty. Okay. So it's just hyperlasticity. So he's very flexible.
Okay.
So he's a flexible joint. So he can walk for a bit and then sometimes. But I was chatting to this gent, and he just basically came up to me, started chatting. He goes, "Oh, do you mind if I ask? Is your son autistic?" And he is. He went, "All right, how verbal, non-verbal." So he was quite educated. And his wife went, "Well, what's autism?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, we watched this program. It's what so and so's got. Christine McGuinness and her kids, they've got it." And she was like, "Oh, really?" And she was like, "Oh." And he was quite understanding. So it was quite the husband knew what it was quite adapted to it, and then the wife didn't. There is a sort of a knowledge gap. But it's sort of people are getting to know it, and that is the good thing. The more we get this out here, the more we can actually understand, people, and it's not just kids, it's adults as well.
So what about travelling itself? I mean, which airport did you travel from?
We were in Bristol, but we've used most of the ones in the UK.
And are they all? Do they have things in place?
So there's a scheme out there called the sunflower scheme. So there's lanyards you can get.
Yes, I've seen them.
Zoe's going to get one now.
I've seen them.
Yeah, seen them. So that's the sort of turnaround. It's just not for autism. It's for every hidden disability. So you wear that, and people in the airport, the staff are going to wear that person's got a hidden disability and might need some extra help.
Right.
And that means here we go.
There you go.
As per magic, there we go.
I've seen them. Look at them. Yeah, I've seen them.
Now, if you're in the UK, you can get these free in a lot of places like Sainsbury's and most of the airports. If you go to the desks and speak to them, they will give you a lanyard for free. There is a website that you can go to and get them, but you do pay for them. And they do have lots of things like baseball caps, cards. It's the Sunflower Lanyard scheme, and I'll give you the details.
I'll put it at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. So when we see these, that means invisible disability, autistic, anything like that. So there you go. So I suppose it does sort of.
It's a way of visualising it, not saying, look, here we are. This is what. So like in the airport, we get to go through the quieter security lanes.
Okay.
There is quiet areas. When we got to Bristol, the gentleman that was there saw it and went, "Oh, by the way, if you need the quiet area, it's here."
Oh.
Yeah, and it was quite nice. But we're pretty good. I've got a wife who likes shopping, so we're around the duty-free shops all the time.
Yeah.
Bit of duty
So you said that Rue doesn't like the noise of like hand dryers and stuff. But is he okay at airports with the noise?
Yeah, he's great. He's absolutely great in crowds.
Yeah.
But it's certain noises like alarms, harsh alarms, stuff like that. Stuff that's sort of more louder and more sort of harsh sounding. That affects him.
So what would happen in that situation?
He would instantly put his hands over his ears and he'd start droning. It's sort of like what they call it. It's sort of strimming. It's a condition that some people autistics have, which is like a repetitive noise, a repetitive movement. Where that settles them. That gets them back centered. So that's sort of what he'll do. But then once it stops, literally within 10 seconds, he's fine. So he's pretty adaptable. But yet.
So you have to be aware of that, though, as parents, that alarms might go off and things like that. And what about sort of preparation? Because the last video we did was all about sort of travelling with autism and the fact that you needed to really sort of plan out everything, not just for yourselves, but for Rue as well, to say, this is where we're going, this is what's going to happen, this is that. Do you do that, or is Rue different? Does he need to understand that?
No, we do that. I've got my little nickname for Mrs. Tiggerific is Monica. So if anyone watches Friends, you know what I mean.
Oh, because she's
yeah, she's a planner, bless her.
But
no, we got a plan, so we know where we're going, we know what's happening, so we know what if anything does arise, we know what to do, we know where we can go, we know, and that comes of not so much when we look at where we're going, but like the places we go. So we look at the hotels, we look at the areas. So we know that Playa Blanca, we've been here and we've read reviews. That it's it can be busy in some places, but it can be quieter in others. And that's just what you need to do. That we've been to some of the busiest places in the world. Like we've been to Florida, and that's really been Disney World.
But they're quite clued up on all the autism stuff, aren't they, in America
they are
and Florida?
Over there. Yeah, they're a few years ahead of us. So there are a lot more people, and it's the knowledge, it's the understanding. And but they do, as much over here, I'd say, as over there. You know, if you want it, there is people that will help you. It's just a case of going and finding where that is. I mean, we found going in the bars and the restaurants, as long as you explain to the people when you're coming in what's going on.
Do you have to do that? Do you do that every time?
Not every time, but sometimes, if it's like you're in...
Because here in Spain, people wouldn't understand that. Well, it's not so much being sort of saying that the Spanish or the Canarians here are ignorant, but it's not a bigger thing here because we're a tiny little island. So number one, people like the waiters, waitresses, and the business owners, and some of the excursion providers, they don't understand it because it's not huge, you know.
No, but what
I mean, I've said this before. It's like vegetarian and vegan. They don't understand that concept. So when they see things like that, they don't know what to do.
No.
And I know somebody said that the Lanzarote airport's not very good for autism. Is that right?
I wouldn't say so. No.
You found it all right?
We found it okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of narrow corridors which can be, can actually upset people.
But there's nothing special in the Lanzarote airport.
No,
whereas you said in Bristol and in the UK, you can go through the fast lane, you can go through the quiet lane. Somebody said to you, listen, if you want a quiet space over there. Lanzarote, they wouldn't even... There wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, the security did let us go through the sort of the family aisle and the security aisle.
Oh, okay.
When we've been before, they're there.
Yeah.
And then obviously on the other side, there is. It's obviously, as you've done in your videos, it's very long. And it's very bustly.
Yeah.
So if you want to go somewhere quiet, you've literally got to go to one end. I would say it's the end that Burger King isn't. You go there and that is quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet down there. So like we're just sort of circling back to going into restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
So do you find that you feel like you should explain before you go in, or here in Lanzarote, maybe not in the UK, because
we used to, but not so much now.
Not so much now. No.
We've sort of got used to it, and then if we're there and it's busy and there's a lot of people and there's an area that we don't want to be in, we will ask to go in that area and explain why. But generally, you've generally found if you go and ask the waiters and the people here and they'll be accommodating. A lot of people are very
I think if you make it aware, then they will be. It's just if you don't, they won't understand it.
A couple of times,
So I think it's good if you do in Lanzarote to educate people here, because it is something that is not really talked about as much here on the island. I mean, look, we're tiny little island. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure there are Canarian kids with autism, but it's not like the UK where you would have a lot of kids, with this, So they're probably very, very unaware of it.
Yeah, but when we've done, as I say, we've done a lot of trips and excursions here. We've generally found if we spoke to them, they've been accommodating. Very much so. We did a outing on the trikes and so on.
Yeah.
And we actually got chatting to one of the guys there, and he was telling us that his nephew was autistic.
Oh wow.
And he was sort of very understanding, and
that's good.
They were pretty good to us. We were on one type of bike, and they said, "Look, no, we're going to move you to this one. It's smoother, it's better." And they understand it. So it was
brilliant.
It was. Once we'd spoken to them, they were really understanding and really helpful.
So what else have you done here on the island? You did the trikes. You're doing the 4-seater buggies this week, aren't you?
4-seater buggies tomorrow,
Right.
So we want to do that because we've not seen it before, and obviously most buggies are only 2.
Yeah, this is new.
So we're going to go on that. We did the half-day tour with the camels and so on.
Yeah.
So they were really good. The people with the camels were sort of understanding and sort of. When we sort of, they didn't really ask, they just sort of got on with it, which was fine. Then we also did, what did we do? I'm trying to remember now. We've done the water park. Water park was good, but that's just a water park.
I'm
trying to remember the last one now. We did, come on, Joseph.
Come on.
So we did that, we did the, we did the catamaran. And we remember that because we had a very sorry, the catamaran, that's how we first met. It was a phone call.
That was it. Yeah, bloody hell.
So the catamaran.
So you definitely, I mean, hats off to you. I don't know what I would do in that. I suppose once you get used to it, you tend to do it. I mean, if I was to sort of step out now and all of a sudden be thrown into that situation, I think I'd be like, oh, we ain't doing that. You know what I mean? So it's good that you have sort of got to that position where you're like, right, we're doing this, we're doing the buggies, we're doing the catamaran, we're doing that, we're going to Lanzarote, we're going to Florida. Happy days. Fair play to you.
Yeah, it's when you've got a kid, it's like any kid, because any kid could be like that. Any kid can be sensitive. They could be atypical and they could not want to do stuff.
But that's you.
Yeah.
That's you and Zoe. Have you met parents that are sort of too afraid to do that and won't do that? Because I'm sure there's people here that are watching that maybe have autistic children, or maybe don't know if they have autistic children. Because again, people will have kids with autism that they don't actually realise they've got autism.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And they're just scared to death of doing all the stuff that you do. So have you met people like that?
I have, and I can understand it's completely then what makes you comfortable. You know, everyone has their own comfort zone. And it's you know, I'm not telling them to go out of their comfort zone, but what I'm trying to say is
it can be done.
Try it once. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, but then that's, you know, how are you going to know until you try? There's a lot of people that do think to themselves, "Oh, I shouldn't do that." Well, my advice would be, well, you don't know until you try. There's a lot of things that we've gone with Rue where we've always said, "Oh no, you wouldn't do that. No, you wouldn't do that," and we've gone and done it, and he absolutely loves it. Like we always thought he'd be scared of roller coasters. You can't get him off them.
Really?
Yeah, you can't get him off them.
Now.
Yeah, he's like a adrenaline junkie. That's the only way to describe him. He's like, someone doesn't like going on them, but some of us do, and he's definitely one of the ones that do.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you get, I mean, you must have a stressful life, more stressful than most people, but relatively normal life. No?
We do worry about a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of stuff to worry about. We say this, you know, carpe diem, live the day. You know, we're here once. You know, let's enjoy our time with our son. He gives it. You know, we've had wonderful memories. Just being a family. And it's just don't be afraid to be a family. That's definitely what I would say.
And that's anyone. It. And I think that is what your sort of channel, in my opinion, should be about. It should be about travelling with autism and doing exactly what you've just said. You know. Don't be put off by it, don't be afraid by it.
No.
And obviously what I'll do is I'll put all the details down to your channel, and then if people have got any questions they can ask you, can't they?
Yeah, we're on all the socials. We're on Instagram. I'm trying to start my TikTok, but I'm not as skilled as
Get on the YouTube. That's all you need is YouTube. TikTok. There's no money in YouTube in TikTok anyway. It's rubbish.
And we've got a little. We're not on Facebook yet, but you know we keep to that. So you know, just honestly, any of the socials you find us on, please give us a message with any questions. We're happy to.
That's really good, and I'll put all the contact details down here. Now I have, because you know, when you show me around your accommodation, you've either seen the video of the room, because we've done a little room tour and a little video about the tropical island, so that's either been played already or it will be coming up after this video or further on down the line. But you do get a little present, which I'm going to go and get for you, so wait there. Right then, so Zoe's joined us because Rue is happy eating crisps and playing on his tablet, I think. So he's over there. We've got a good view here. So you two, honestly, thank you so much for... Well, thank you for letting me nick him for a bit.
That's okay.
And it's a shame we couldn't get you in there, but I know you must be so busy.
He's fine.
You must have to keep these open all the time, though.
He is. He's chilled and laid back, but obviously when he's in the pool, it's ideal just to keep an eye on him. Yeah, that's it. But look, there you go. Lovely.
You are now officially part of the TravelON, Mr. TravelON Mug Club. And I have got you some stickers as well. They're in the cart. Look at that. There you go. Get it open. So get it open. Come on.
Enjoy my coffee in there in the morning. Thank you very much.
Go. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. And I have bought something for Rupert. I don't know whether he looks quite calm over there. So we'll give him that look. But I'll just show you, look. Just in case he's missing his little Christmas elf, he's now got a Mr. TravelON Christmas elf.
Mr. TravelON.
So because it is Christmas, isn't it? And obviously you can't.
And we've got something for you.
We've got something for you. Well, this is from Mrs. TravelON and the family.
Mrs. TravelON gets presents. She hasn't done nothing, mind you. She didn't make yours.
She didn't make my shirt, and she told me he's not allowed any of these.
You've wrapped it up, look.
Away from Wales, Cam.
No, we've not got Welsh. Oh my gosh.
So Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without quality streets.
I don't think there's coffee in there, so you're fine.
There better not be. Mrs. TravelON will eat. Do you know what? We haven't had any. We can't even get quality street here.
We'll talk to the English supermarket. Get them
they probably do it in there. And another one.
This is for you, and you must wear this on Christmas Eve. at least for the live.
I'm doing a live Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? Well, you need to come down and bump into me.
I am. I think I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to wear this on your live.
It's not. I can recognise the colour. Oh my good gosh, that is incredible. That is going to be. Do you know what? Forget wearing it Christmas Eve. That's going to be my favourite T-shirt of all time. Mrs. TravelON makes t-shirts, look, but she ain't making anything as good as that.
No, we told her we got it for you.
That is amazing. Honestly, that is fantastic.
And last but not least, we got to give you the posh waters.
Oh my days, this is posh water.
It's the Rock Johnson's water.
Do you know what? You've got one for me to drink, and I'm that sad that in my office, I have posh water on display. I am so sad. That is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
But honestly, guys, it's been amazing speaking to these two. I know you were over there, giving little
my little 2 pennies.
Little 2 pennies. But I tell you what, I'll be like Zoe. I'll be knocking people out. I'll be knocking people out.
Yeah.
But honestly, you two have been fantastic, and it's really, really helpful to do videos like this because I haven't got a clue about things like this, and it gives me a bit of education. Educates you lot back home, so you understand things when you're travelling and see people with autism, or if you've got somebody in your group that's autistic and needs extra help and stuff like that, you can ask these two any questions.
Absolutely.
And again, what's the channel called?
Tiggerific Tales.
Tiggerific Tales, and I'm going to put all the links down below. Get over and subscribe to that. And you need to start doing some more bloody videos. I'm telling you, get him on it.
I will.
Tell him, just keep saying. He's got all the camera, look. He's got all the gear.
All the gear, no idea.
Get out there and just do some more videos. That's what you need to do.
There'll be plenty of the from this holiday coming up.
And then we want to see a Mr. Tiggerific Tales t-shirt.
So when we come next year, you can have one. Don't
I'll have one of them. Yeah, you'll be more famous than me. But guys, thank you so much from me, Mr. TravelON. It's goodbye. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe both channels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye from Zoe.
Yeah, bye from Tiggerific Tales.
And bye from Roo.
Bye, Roo.
See you later.
See you later.
He's happy. See you later, guys.